The Mubadala DC Open finals in Washington have become one of the most talked about events in tennis this week, not only because of the exciting championship matches, but also because of the unpredictable weather conditions that have repeatedly disrupted play. Heavy rain on Sunday forced tournament organizers to suspend the women's singles final and postpone the men's championship match, leaving players and fans waiting anxiously to see whether Monday's weather would allow the event to conclude without further interruptions. The women's singles final between Jessica Pegula and Alexandra Eala had already experienced a delay of nearly 3 hours before the players were finally able to step onto the court on Sunday afternoon. Dark clouds covered the skies over Washington, and the humid conditions created uncertainty throughout the day. Spectators packed the stands hoping to witness a memorable final. But the weather quickly became the dominant storyline of the tournament. Jessica Pegula, one of the top-ranked players in the world and the tournament favorite, started the match with confidence and composure. The American relied on her powerful baseline game and experience to take control of important rallies. Pegula managed to win the opening set 6-4, putting herself one set away from lifting the trophy in front of her home fans. Despite losing the first set, Alexandra Eala refused to back down. The young Filipino sensation continued to fight and showed the determination that had carried her to the final. Eala began the second set with renewed energy and quickly built a 2-1 lead, raising hopes among her supporters that she could force the match into a deciding set. Unfortunately, the weather once again intervened at a crucial moment. Rain started falling heavily, forcing officials to suspend play. Ground staff rushed onto the court to cover the surface, while players returned to the locker rooms to wait for further instructions. Fans remained in their seats for some time, hoping that the rain would stop and the final could continue later in the evening. As the weather failed to improve, tournament organizers ultimately made the difficult decision to postpone the remainder of the match until Monday. The announcement disappointed thousands of spectators, many of whom had traveled long distances to attend the final. Organizers assured ticket holders that Sunday's tickets would remain valid for Monday's session. The suspension of the women's final was particularly frustrating because the match had started to become increasingly competitive. Pegula had the advantage after winning the first set, but Eala's strong start to the second set suggested that the momentum was beginning to shift. The overnight break introduced a completely new element into the contest, giving both players additional time to recover, rethink their strategies, and prepare mentally for the remainder of the match. Weather forecasts for Monday did little to ease concerns. According to several weather services, Washington was expected to experience more rain and thunderstorms throughout the day. Meteorologists predicted a nearly 60% chance of rain around noon, the scheduled restart time for the women's final. Early in the morning, humidity levels exceeded 90%, while thick clouds covered the city, although forecasts suggested that the weather might improve slightly. Later in the afternoon, uncertainty continued to dominate conversations among players, coaches, and fans. The possibility of further delays meant that tournament organizers had to remain flexible and prepared for any scenario. For Jessica Pegula, the delay represents both an opportunity and a challenge. As one of the most experienced players on the WTA Tour, she understands how to manage pressure and adjust to unusual circumstances. However, interruptions of this nature can disrupt rhythm and concentration, forcing players to mentally reset before returning to the court. Pegula entered the tournament as one of the favorites to win the title, and throughout the competition she has demonstrated the consistency and composure that have made her one of the world's best players. Winning the championship in Washington would add another prestigious title to her growing collection and strengthen her confidence heading into the rest of the season. The final carries even greater significance. The young Filipino player has emerged as one of the brightest talents in international tennis, and her remarkable run to the championship match has captured the attention of fans across the globe. Reaching the final of such a major tournament is already a career milestone, but Eala has made it clear that she is aiming for much more than simply participating. Eala's journey to the final has been defined by resilience, courage, and fearless shot-making. Throughout the tournament, she has defeated highly ranked opponents and proven that she can compete with some of the best players in the world. Her performance against Pegula in the second set demonstrated that she is fully capable of challenging even the most experienced stars. The weather delay could actually work in Eala's favor. Trailing by one set but leading early in the second, she now has extra time to recover physically and discuss tactical adjustments with her coaching team. Returning to the court with renewed energy could provide her with an opportunity to turn the match around. While the women's final remains unfinished, the men's championship match has also been heavily affected by the weather. Taylor Fritz and Rafael Jodar were originally scheduled to compete on Sunday, but the continuing rain forced tournament officials to postpone their match as well. Taylor Fritz arrived in Washington as one of the tournament's top contenders. The American has enjoyed another successful season and is looking to add another ATP title to his resume. Known for his powerful serve and aggressive style of play, Fritz will be eager to complete the tournament as quickly as possible once conditions improve. Rafael Jodar, meanwhile, has been one of the surprise stories of the tournament. The young Spaniard has impressed fans and analysts with his maturity and skill, producing several outstanding performances on his way to the final. A victory over Fritz would represent the biggest achievement of his career so far. The men's final is scheduled to begin after the conclusion of the women's championship match, although tournament officials have emphasized that the start time will depend entirely on weather conditions. Forecasts indicate that there remains a significant chance of rain throughout the afternoon, creating uncertainty for players and spectators alike. The repeated delays have created logistical challenges for tournament organizers. Officials must coordinate schedules, communicate updates to fans, ensure that courts remain safe, and manage television broadcasts watched by millions of viewers around the world. Every weather update has the potential to alter the day's schedule. Fans attending the finals have been advised to prepare for changing conditions. Many spectators are expected to arrive carrying umbrellas and rain jackets, aware that additional interruptions remain possible. Despite the inconvenience, excitement surrounding the championship matches remains extremely high. Washington's unpredictable summer weather has become one of the defining features of this year's tournament. What should have been a straightforward championship weekend has transformed into a dramatic battle against the elements, adding another layer of tension to the competition. Television audiences across the world continue to follow developments closely. Tennis fans from the United States, the Philippines, and many other countries are eagerly awaiting the conclusion of both finals. Social media platforms have been filled with discussions about the weather, player performances, and predictions for the eventual winners. For Pegula, victory would confirm her status as one of the leading players in women's tennis. For Eala, winning the title would represent a historic breakthrough moment that could inspire an entire generation of young athletes in the Philippines. Taylor Fritz hopes to strengthen his position among the world's elite players, while Rafael Jodar dreams of completing one of the most remarkable underdog stories of the season. Each player understands the importance of the moment and the opportunity that lies ahead, regardless of who ultimately lifts the trophies. The 2026 Mubadala DC Open finals will be remembered for their extraordinary combination of elite tennis and dramatic weather conditions. The rain has delayed the celebration, but it has also heightened the anticipation, ensuring that when the champions are finally crowned, the moment will be even more memorable.